Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. The age-old question of whether or not you really do need a separate camera is becoming more and more difficult every day because our smartphone cameras are getting so good. And so these are my thoughts on having a separate camera. And the simple answer is not really simple because it depends, okay? And so let me tell you why I think you don't need a camera first. And then I'll talk about why you do need a camera. And so if you are the type of person who just likes to take videos for personal use or random point and shoot, then a smartphone camera will work really well, especially if you have a high-end smartphone like a Samsung Galaxy or iPhone or the Google Pixels. And so the equivalent to those is basically a camera that you could buy for about $250 US or less. And so that's probably the area that you're going to be competing with. And the majority of times your smartphone is going to have a lot more features than those point and shoot cameras in that price range. Things such as 4K shooting, high frame rates, and some of the brand new phones also have powerful camera lenses that will allow you to do things like better bokeh effects, or it will have two different lenses. And so even though it's not a real mechanical focus, it's still pretty good, you know. And if you are actually watching a lot of your media on your phone or even on a TV, you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference between that and a point and shoot, you know, unless you really zoom in or unless you're going to print it. And so that's in general. If you had to decide between a point and shoot that's like $250 or less or using your smartphone, I think your smartphone is a better option. Now, another place where I think you don't need a camera is if you are a content creator and the majority of your videos are like this, vlog style. And for most people, I think a smartphone will work well, especially if you want a higher quality. You could also use your 4K mode as well. And so once again, if you have a high-end smartphone, then I think for vlogging, for the majority of people, it's more than enough for most people, okay? Now, let's go ahead and get into the realm where you might need a real camera. I put that in quotes because it really depends on you as a person. And so the cases where you might need a separate camera is obviously if you want higher production quality. There's a big difference between 1080p and 4K on a camera versus a smartphone. Now, this camera that I'm using right now currently is the Panasonic G85 Lumix 4K camera. And if you actually just watch this on your phone, you probably won't be able to tell the difference. However, on bigger screens, the resolution, the color quality, the depth of field effects, you simply cannot get that on a smartphone because these are using real lenses. And most of these lenses cost more than entire smartphones if you get into the higher end. And another area where a camera would make sense is if you're going to be doing a lot of different types of videos, you know, not simply just vlog style videos. You know, if you want to get into more photography, you want to do things that are more professional, and so that requires more professional gear. There's no way around that. And maybe the final thing with having a separate camera is if it's something that you know you're going to be spending a lot of time with. Okay, so then it becomes an investment, because if you actually look at all the camera gear, it's not cheap, you know. Even such things as a bag, you know, like this right here. This is like more than $40, and this is a small bag. And just that alone, all of these things add up. And so if it's something that you're going to be spending a lot of time with in the future, you know that you're going to be spending money, then it's worth it for you to have a separate camera. So those are my thoughts on whether or not you should have a separate camera. I really feel the smartphone is enough for most people, but more and more people are becoming content creators, whether they are on YouTube, on Instagram, IGTV, Facebook. You're going to need to invest in more gear because the whole area of content creation is becoming more competitive, specifically when it comes to production quality. And so you're going to have to up your game. And so those are my thoughts on that. If you had any of your own ideas on whether or not you need a camera, whether it's for vlog style like this or many other areas, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Hey geeks, if you are a creative geek like me and you wanted to learn how to create content on YouTube and other places on the internet, then check out my Gold Content Creators Group, where you'll get access to 30 videos plus additional content for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part of it is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators Group. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.
Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.